Hamilton provided exciting insights into the upcoming Mercedes W15 development, as he expressed optimism about the team's potential to even pass Red Bull in the next season. However, whether or not this will actually happen is another thing, considering the dominance of the previous year's RB19. What is James Allison cooking behind the scenes, and what he might be orchestrating for the team is anyone's guess. But there are very promising signs for the W15. Ever since the 2021 season and that final Abu Dhabi race, Hamilton hasn't won an F1 race, and even more so, Mercedes have only won one, with Red Bull and Max Verstappen dominating the field in the last two seasons. They started the year with a sister car of the W13, a concept which didn't work, and they had to shift their focus midway through, which is always a recipe for a bad season. The Silver Arrows went winless in the 2023 campaign, the first time since 2011, but things are looking good for next season. I still believe that if Hamilton secures the car, especially at Mercedes, among the two drivers he is undoubtedly more likely to present a formidable challenge to Max Verstappen and Red Bull. Because despite occasional lapses in qualifying performance, like for example his pole position in Hungary, Hamilton's race pace advantage over Russell is notably greater than his qualifying pace over him. Hamilton holds the remarkable record of 104 pole positions, a feat that may stand untouched for years. However, the inconsistency in his qualifying performances has arguably been a significant factor affecting his race victories in recent seasons. The lack of consistent top qualifying performances from Hamilton may have cost him race victories, like Singapore this year, where out-qualifying Russell could potentially have led to a win. And Hamilton often expressed the need to improve his qualifying performance throughout the season. However, improving in this aspect involves overcoming challenges related to confidence in pushing the car to its absolute limit, and the design of the W14 in 2023 seemed to pose difficulties for Hamilton in finding that crucial confidence, potentially impacting his qualifying results and consequently his race outcomes. The W15 will undergo a substantial transformation in virtually every aspect. James Allison has stated that it is a highly ambitious program, outlining the team's extensive efforts to achieve significant advancements with the car. The team believes that the W15 represents a substantial leap forward, raising the question of whether the strides taken are substantial enough. Asked if Mercedes will be back to winning ways in 2024 or require more time to recapture their former glories, Allison said, "I don't know," is the answer to that. I hope that we have put in place enough of a program of work that we have put ourselves in with a shout to be back to competitiveness. When you say winning ways, does that mean winning a race? Does that mean winning a championship? In my head, it's only ever about championships. That's what Formula One is. It's a constructors and a drivers championship. I hope that we have done enough to give ourselves a shout of being in a championship fight in both championships. If you look at the long march of F1 history, then the stats are against us. Teams do not bounce back from slipping from their previous peak in the length of time that we have set ourselves. But we have nevertheless set a pretty ambitious program. We have quite a lot of strength in depth here, and we've made quite a lot of progress with next year's car. So whether it proves sufficient or not, only time will tell. But that's what I'm hoping for us, and I know that all my colleagues and teammates around me will be hoping for the same. The crucial factor is the driver's confidence in pushing the car to its limits. This confidence, when maximized, can yield an additional gain of a few tenths, and even Hamilton himself highlighted this phenomenon, citing an instance when a floor update in Austin was officially valued at 1/10. But he personally felt a confidence boost that translated into an extra tenth and a bit. Hamilton's emphasis on driver confidence becomes particularly pivotal in qualifying situations, where pushing the car to its maximum is essential, as he expressed significant concerns at the start of the season regarding the cockpit positioning, underlining the critical role it plays in optimizing driver confidence and consequently overall performance. Massive changes are nevertheless coming to the W15. Namely, Mercedes is set to reintroduce the long axle design, resulting in a vehicle design that is comparatively short at the front and maximizes surface area for the ground effect at the rear and the side pod area. Hamilton's desired adjustment to have the driver's seat positioned further back will be implemented, and while the exact translation of this adjustment is not specified, it is anticipated to remain straight on the car, similar to a sidecar configuration. The crucial aspect emphasized by Hamilton is the ability of drivers to better sense the rear of the car, and other changes worth noting include a more horizontal packaging of radiators and coolers, allowing for greater flexibility in mounting power units and subsequently generating more performance. This contrasts with their previous focus on a zero-pod design, which despite initial expectations, did not deliver the anticipated gains in the simulator, and the team had made sacrifices for this design that ultimately proved to be unnecessary. And the team has also sought to strike a balance between downforce and drag reduction with changes to the rear suspension and diffuser. So it's clear that Mercedes will go deep into trying to create a car worthy of competing against Red Bull. But will it happen? Hamilton admitted that the 2023 season had been tough, with the team realizing from the first run with the W15 that it wasn't going to be a title-winning car. There are ups and downs within all seasons, and there were ups and downs, he said. And from the moment we started driving the car at Silverstone, realizing that we're probably not going to be fighting for a championship, and then just refocusing and resetting your goals, and then working towards catching up. I think it's just pleasing to see that we never gave up, and no one in the team gave up. Everyone stayed positive, and just how everyone showed up was super encouraging for me. I think we're all always learning more about just appreciating the moment, appreciating each and every single individual in the team and those results we're getting. And when we finally get a podium, we appreciate it perhaps more than ever before. I think obviously pole in Budapest was the highlight, a track that I love, and to somehow dethrone Red Bull for a single moment gave us a lot of hope, knowing that if we just keep pushing, we may get there. These changes would be massive for Mercedes, assuming they execute them properly, and it is expected that Mercedes will listen to Hamilton's input this time when it comes to the development of the new car in comparison to past year. The team has a history of constructing competitive vehicles, as evidenced by their race win to previous year and competitive performance last year. However, these cars had notable flaws due to their pursuit of a zero-pod design, which required significant sacrifices and didn't yield the expected benefits. And with the reported changes, Mercedes aims to peel away some of these sacrifices, potentially resulting in a more competitive car. Mercedes have their work cut out for them, because the other teams won't stay idle as well. Ferrari and McLaren promise a lot, with Vasseur even saying the new Ferrari car will differ dramatically from the 2023 Challenger, so we're going to see how that turns out. McLaren is also a team on the rise with two talented drivers in Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. And if Red Bull is dominant again and takes P1 in both championships, you can bet the fight for P2 will be a fiery one. Allison's declaration that the W15 will not draw inspiration from Red Bull aligns with Lewis Hamilton's recent remarks, emphasizing the limitations of copying another team's car in the long run. Despite the secrecy surrounding the W15 specifics, Hamilton has expressed confidence in the team's ability to deliver a competitive machine for the 2024 season, having had positive experiences with the W15 in both the wind tunnel and the simulator. The developments we talked about do give a more promising outlook for the W15. However, until we see how it actually performs on the track, everything is unclear. What do you think? Could Mercedes fight back for the title this year? Or will Red Bull dominate the field once again? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video.